Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the Wonder Series, where my goal here at the Wonder Series is to help you to look at your life from a different perspective, kind of look outside the box and be prepared for opportunities and possibilities that could come your way. Open your mind, change your mindset, and really understand where that can make changes mentally, physically, emotionally, and how that can help you to lead a more healthy, happy, vibrant life that you have been looking for. So I'm Denise Siegel. I am your host here of the Wonder Series, and I'm really excited to talk with our guest today. Hilary Gooden does something very unique, and I really am excited. So let me just jump on in, tell you a little bit about Hilary, and then we'll go from there. We'll start our conversation. So Ms. Hilary Gooden is a speaker, a vibrant life promoter, certified lymphology expert, consultant, trainer, author, show host, and pastor, which basically means she's a very busy lady. Hilary works with women leaders who are looking for strategies to transform their emotional and physical health while reducing stress. And she does this in a unique way. Think of this, a chronic cough that developed as a result of stress actually led her on a journey of research regarding the body and how to help the body heal itself naturally. And of course, at Living Healthy List, these are the things that we want to help you think about, help you wonder how making changes to the way you do things, the way you think of things, and how that can really help you increase your longevity, your vitality and vibrance. Hilary is also the author of You Got the Power. Oh, I love it. We got the power. 7 ways to transform your health and peace, and an ebook called Your Words Create Your Reality. Ooh, so true, so true. Ms. Hilary, welcome.
Thank you so much, Denise, for having me on. I sure appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to have this conversation with you. So I read everybody your bio. You're a pretty cool lady.
Oh,
so
okay.
let's dive a little deeper and tell us who Hilary is on a regular basis. Who is Hilary truly? And what do you do and help people?
Okay, well, a little bit about me. I was very shy coming up through my 20s, just shy to the point of I didn't know how I was going to make it in life after college. It was that serious. How am I going to get a job? But I became a born again Christian, and that kind of bust that thing wide open, gave me so much boldness and confidence that I didn't even know I could have. And so I ended up working at a behavioral health center where I went from being a line staff accountant to a manager to being the CFO, the chief financial officer. And I retired in 2019. On that job, I learned so much about leadership, about myself, about people in all different type of levels of relationships. And that was very valuable, even in what I do today. Also, I developed this chronic cough that was on the bio that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. And I realized that the cough was not just related to eating dairy. That's what I thought initially. Oh, I got to stop eating cheese. I got to stop eating pizza and ice cream and stuff like that.
Not those things.
I know it's like, oh no, I'll just have to suffer through. At least I know where it comes from. But then I started noticing when I would get in confrontational situations or this anxiety, started having anxiety attacks that triggered this cough. And I said, oh my goodness, I got to figure out a way to deal with this, because they would happen in moments to make me look, in my mind, it made me look like I was weak or afraid, when really I wasn't. It's just this cough would just come out of nowhere. What I know now is fight or flight mode would just kick in, heart beating fast. I lose my breath. I can't breathe. It was really crazy. And it may happen even sometime now, but not nearly as often. And now I know what to do about it. But that's what led me on the journey. I started going to my doctors, trying to find out what can we do. And all my doctor was giving me, even as she referred me to other specialists dealing with respiratory system, was pills and an inhaler. And my final appointment with that particular doctor, I asked her is there something natural that I can take, that I can go to the health food store and get? The look on that doctor's face, I didn't understand it then, but I kind of understand it now. She looked at me real good, eyeball to eyeball, and then she shoved her hand in her white coat and pulled out her inhaler. And she said, you should just give me some 3 prescriptions. She said, you fill those prescriptions, get your inhaler, and you take it for the rest of your life, like I have to do. Shoved hers back in her pocket and stormed out of the room. And I was thinking, oh my God. And she didn't come back. I asked the nurse, is she coming back? She said, she's in with another patient. I said, no, I guess we're done here. And I think I'm done because I'm not going to fill these prescriptions. This is just for me. You know, everybody has to do what you feel is right for yourself. I'm not against doctors, you know, thank God for them. But it was just something in me that said, no, I'm not going to be on the inhaler for the rest of my life. I got to figure out. That led me on my journey. And I came across so many different holistic practices that worked. I finally came across an interview right quick with a guy who was being interviewed because his doctors had told him, there's nothing we can do for you. You need to go home and get your affairs in order. You have about 6 months to live.
Oh, wow.
And so he met somebody that said, I know someone can help you. He met that person. This is what kind of blew me away. The guy said, I can help you. You have to do everything I tell you to do. He said, what's there to lose at this point? And the first thing he told him, he said, you're going to have to forgive. We're going to go through a process of helping you to forgive. As a pastor, I thought, that's interesting. That's really interesting. And he kept on talking until he went through, you know, all of this mindset things, and then into nutrition, and then into bouncing on a mini trampoline to help activate his lymphatic system. I was like, wait a minute, what did he just say? And then I was all in. I did my search on the guy that he learned from. And then he mentioned the guy that he learned from. I was all the way back in the 1800s by the time I was just searching and searching.
So apparently they knew this stuff back in the 1800s.
Yes,
we're just relearning it now.
Absolutely. And so I became certified through the International Academy of Lymphology. And I was ready to leave my job. That was about 2012 or so, but God wasn't done with me till 2019. And so that's what I've been doing since then, teaching people and speaking, being available to speak to different organizations and groups, just getting the word out. And my main thing is, you got the power to help your body, help you have better health and a more vibrant life.
I love it. I truly, this is my true belief, and the message that we want to convey to people is you do have the power. And you just said that we have it inside us, and we're always looking outside. You know, what's the answer? Where's the answer? Who has the best program, product, whatever it might be. Yeah. And it's so hard for us to just kind of come back and say to ourselves, okay, like you did, okay, I've got to figure this out. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned the Lymphatic National Academy of Lymphology.
Yes. Tell
us a little bit about that. And you mentioned the rebounder, so we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But tell us, like, how did this piece become the one that really became the one that worked for you?
Well, all I know is when I heard the guy mention it and I started going into researching it, I just had to go deeper. I had to know more. I had to know more. I had to know more. The Lord had given me a scripture. I always knew when I left that job that I would not be working on another job. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. So I became ordained minister as a pastor. So I said, okay, well, maybe that's what I'll be doing. I love the Lord. I love teaching people and helping people to learn all they can be, you know, in Christ. So maybe that's what it's going to be. So he had given me the scripture, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper, be in good health, even as your soul prospers. And I always thought the soul prospering part, I got that part down. The first part, I wish above all things that you prosper, meaning prospering in every area of your life, all relationships and different things of that nature. I've learned so much in that area and experienced so much. But the health part, I didn't understand. How do you teach somebody about health? I don't even understand. When I started learning about the lymphatic system, and it was like I was like a big giant sponge just soaking up all I could get. I knew that was the missing piece. I knew I was like, this is it. I'm ready to go now, Lord. You can let me release me from this job. And yeah, they were nice that I would work really hard doing audit time at work and uh, just doing everything I have to do there. It was a very demanding job. I leave there, I will commute coming home, and I get back into the books, get back into my research, get back into studying. And when I would look up again, there were a few nights when I not woke up, I realized it was the next day and it was time for me to go to work. And I hadn't gone to sleep. I hadn't
Oh my
eaten.
gosh.
I was just done. I was like, wait a minute, it's right outside. Oh shoot, I gotta and I was awake and alive and perky all day. I knew this is what I have to do. And I love it. I
I
absolutely
love that.
love it.
That's amazing. I mean, people say this all the time, when you just know. And
Yeah.
if you're not in a place where you're kind of going, well, how the heck am I going to know? Maybe I thought I knew, but the excitement that you just talked about, it was so evident that, yep, you knew.
Yeah, this is it.
So talk to us about the lymphatic system and how that really helps us to increase our health, and what are all of the health benefits surrounding the lymphatic system? Because as you and I have mentioned before, most people don't, we know there's a lymphatic system, but we really don't know much more about it than kind of like what we learned that one time in school. So let's dig
Yeah.
deep. Let's dig deep into the lymphatic system. What does it do? What are the benefits?
Yeah. So most people don't know that they have a lymphatic system. The one thing that they've heard of is lymph nodes. And they say, I heard about lymph nodes. They have something to do with cancer, but I'm not really sure. And so the lymphatic system is the one system that is connected to all the other systems. It helps all the other systems to be cleansed of, I can say, a buildup of cellular waste, toxins, and fluids. Because when we have that buildup, that's what we also know as inflammation. And at the base of almost any illness is inflammation.
Yes.
So if we can reduce inflammation, we can get rid of symptoms that you're dealing with. It's like the bottom denominator when you break it all the way down. And when I've heard so many people, I'm always listening when people are talking about different, whether it's different autoimmune, chronic conditions, whatever it may be. And you hear them talking and they'll get to inflammation. I said, I knew it. I knew it. And so if we can deal with that, we can have better health. Absolutely. It'll help you. The lymphatic system, one thing is I want to talk about the blood system. The blood system, we know the blood pumps from the heart, away from the heart, back to the heart. Mm-hmm. The lymphatic fluid needs to circulate in the body as well, but it only goes in one direction, upwards. So movement is key. We must move. We're meant to move our bodies. We have become so sedentary because we're on our computers like now. Those that may be watching, it's just, we watch TV, we be on our computers for work, for play, for, research, whatever it is, that we don't move as much as we should. I was so shocked to hear one day on the radio that they were talking about having medication for this new sitting disease.
Huh?
I know, right? I said, a medication for the sitting disease? No, you need
walking.
to move your body. Get up and move. And so the number one way to activate and help the lymphatic system is bouncing on a mini trampoline. At the bottom of the bounce, you think about not jumping and trying to do tricks and flips and all of that, but just a gentle bounce, also known as a health bounce. At the bottom of the bounce, the check valves along the lymphatic vessels, they open up. At the bottom of the bounce, and they allow the fluid to come up through the vessels. And then those vessels are like in between your cells, like vacuuming out the excess trapped buildup of cellular waste and fluids. and getting them where they need to go. And so you'll have increased energy, increased clarity of mind, not having to deal with brain fog, have overall better health. You're going to have better quality sleep. You're going to boost your immunity because your lymphatic system is a major part of your immune system. And the best part is that it helps to boost your vitality. That feeling young from the inside out. I
love that. We're on this earth, we should be here. We should enjoy. We should actually live life to the fullest. And I think this is a simple way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bouncing on what do they call it? A rebounder?
A rebounder, mini trampoline.
Mini trap. Yeah. Bouncing on that really isn't that difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can do it.
Anybody can. And that's so I promote the top 2 ways mainly. And so bouncing on a mini trampoline is the number 1 way. Breathing is the number 2 way. I tell people, listen, you're breathing anyway. You might as well make it work for you. If you're hearing this, you're breathing. Why not make it work for you? So different breathing techniques and learning how to breathe properly. A lot of people don't breathe properly, and that can cause them to have a host of respiratory issues as well.
Okay, so how do we know if we're not breathing properly?
Well, how can I say? The way you sleep, the way you breathe during the day is the way you breathe when you sleep. Now, if you wake up and your mouth is bone dry, that means you slept with your mouth open. Chances are you breathe during the day using your mouth. You breathe through your mouth breather, and mouth breathing can, the way God intended for us to breathe is through this thing right here, our nose. And I was doing a thing on breathing and I was like, this sounds so simple, but listen, that's what this is meant for. There are 3 things that God intended to happen when we breathe in and out through our nose, just our regular breathing, sitting here like we're doing now. When you breathe in through your nose, 1, the air is warmed. 2, the air is filtered. And 3, the most amazing thing is your lungs knows how much air it needs at any given time. So when you're a mouth breather, you can do what's called over breathing.
Never heard of that
phrase. And then you get over breathing and you're getting air in that's not filtered, it's not warm. It's going to cause issues.
I'm sitting here, of course, I'm thinking about breathing now. I'm like,
yeah.
How do I breathe? I think I am a nose breather. Okay, so that's good. I'm not breathing wrong.
Yeah.
But it's true, like you said, we're breathing anyway, and just being aware of why we need to pay attention to make sure that we're breathing through our nose. That's something that was new to me. I never really thought about it.
Yeah, and breathing from your diaphragm. When you tell people to take a deep breath, it's all in the shoulders and all. That's what's known as a shallow breath. And when you breathe through your diaphragm, you're taking a truly deep breath, that's going to cause your diaphragm to rise and fall. And that, again, helps your lymphatic system with that up and down motion.
Well, here's the thing about that diaphragm breathing, because when you say that, I think about it and I'm like, I take a deeper breath. Is it, should we be taking deeper breaths like that on a regular basis?
It's not even about taking deeper breaths. Okay. Because your body knows how much air it needs, how much it needs at any given time. And you will find when you just learn to breathe, how can I say, when you breathe in and out through your nose, you're not taking in as much air as when you breathe in through your mouth. Like when you get excited, or like when I would have those chronic cough attacks, the anxiety attacks, right. And your heart starts palpitating real fast, you start coughing. You're trying to catch your breath, you're breathing in through your mouth. You're exacerbating the problem. You can just keep your mouth closed while you're doing that. You'll find you can catch your breath a lot quicker.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, this may be something completely separate, because now I'm thinking, when I've done that, not necessarily been coughing, but when I've been running, not that I run a lot, but when you say you're on the treadmill and you're almost done and you're okay, I'm going to finish this, and you're running hard and you're kind of like,
yeah.
Would that be a good time also to kind of breathe more through the nose than in and out of your mouth?
When you're doing strenuous work, okay, you breathe in and maybe you breathe out through your mouth. But once you get yourself settled, you should be breathing in and out through your nose.
I love
They
that.
have breathing tape that you can put over your mouth at night while you sleep. So
That
that
is
you
so
can breathe,
funny
keep
because
your
like I
mouth
have
closed, because
slept with like the nose one that opens your nose.
something to close your mouth, because it
Interesting.
really is an issue. People that have sleep apnea, asthma issues, a lot of times they're mouth breathers.
That's interesting. Oh, I love this
Yeah,
conversation
so
because
yeah, because I have like a 5-week program that I'm offering people now, because breathe your way to a healthier you, because it's just so basic. You're doing it anyway.
no, I love it.
Yeah,
And definitely we'll get back into talking about
yeah,
that
it's
because I think it's
amazing.
important for, we have these conversations and, my goal here is to have people kind of look outside of themselves and listen to other experts and then be able to say, you know what, I want to be able to do that. And so my goal is really to help people learn, but also to help experts like you and me to connect with the people who are really looking for our help,
Yeah,
because I think one of the challenges we always have on the internet is there's so much stuff.
yeah,
And so
absolutely.
when we can have these conversations and then share, I think that is so much more honest, reliable, unbiased, as opposed to just going on the internet and looking up something. So thank you
Yeah,
for this conversation. So I'm really excited about this, but I'm learning a lot, lymphatic system, breathing through your nose, and how all of these things really increase your vitality.
yeah,
And it's interesting because, I talk about, eat real food, make good decisions, and be accountable. Obviously, food is my background, but these making good decisions and being accountable piece, this is where the rebounder comes in. This is where taking the time to stop and realize how you're breathing, that's where that comes in as
yeah,
well. So it's amazing to me how, we can do different things, but they all fit together in a beautiful uh, symbiosis.
absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about, listening to our body. We know now a little bit more about the lymphatic system, what we can do to kind of get that moving. We know we need to be breathing through our nose. Next step, listening to our body. Why is that important? And how do you help people, or how do you advise people to pay attention to their body?
Yeah, our body is talking to us all the time. And a lot of times we're not listening. It lets you know when it has enough air. It lets you know when you can stop that breathing exercise and just go back to your regular breathing. It lets you know when you've had enough to eat. A lot of times we're not paying attention to that. That's how I understood about listening to my body. I was married and my husband used to say, you need to listen to your body. And I was like, I used to think I wouldn't say anything because I didn't understand. How the heck you listen to your body? That don't make sense. It
It's
made
not
no
talking to
sense to
me.
me. I couldn't understand what could he mean. Finally, I said, okay, let me just try to listen to my body. And on that process, it was about eating. And I found that I ate out a lot, going out to restaurants and stuff. But what I found that when I really listened, and I would eat, like you had the salad, the soup come out and say, okay, I'm listening to my body. The salad comes out. A couple of bites in to this salad, my body is like, we're good. And I'm like, yeah, but I got the entree coming out. I took so many meals home just listening to my body, because a lot of times we're just overdoing it. We're just overdoing it. When we drink enough water, our body lets us know that that's a good thing. But it can do what it's supposed to do with the water. When we move our bodies, your body, you get those endorphins. It helps you to know, oh wow, I feel really energized and rejuvenated. That's really good. Versus feeling like crap while I'm sitting here and I'm so full and so tired and I can't hardly get up and move. I need to just go lay down now, you know. But when we listen and take time to really pay attention, you'll find that your body is letting you know when it's enough or when you need to do a little more, when you be kind to people. How does that make you feel? you want to do it again, you know. So it's real simple, but a lot of people just don't practice it at all. You know, and if you ever try it, I took myself on a 30-day challenge. I challenged myself to 30 days. I lost 30 pounds doing that 30 days because I really wasn't, my stomach would be done eating way before I was done eating because of what was still on the plate or what was still to come out.
I'm so excited that you talk about that, because that is truly one of the first things that when I'm talking with clients, it's really like, you know, listening to your body is part of it, but really paying attention to, you know, how food makes you feel.
Yeah. Yes.
And again, you know, if you're overeating, then, you know, you're heavy and lethargic and you're not going to feel like moving. And so, you know, when you get into that pattern, I can see where people, you know, they're eating too much, they're not moving. And I can see where where their lymphatic system is getting really sluggish.
Yeah. One thing I tell people, when we eat, after eating, we should feel energized. If you feel tired, you want to go take a nap, you've eaten what's affecting your body like a poison.
Mm.
When you ingest a poison, it makes you tired.
Yes.
It makes you thirsty.
Mm.
So when you eat and you're making yourself thirsty and tired, it just is what it is. You know, it's working in your body like a poison.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad I love the way that you put it that way, though, because I think most people don't, you know, you wouldn't think of, you know, food is poison. You know, we always think of, you know, let thy food be thy medicine. Yes, that's what we want. And
Yeah.
if the food is making you feel good, it is thy medicine. If it's making you feel icky, it is thy poison.
Yeah, yeah. It's real basic. And you know, God has made this really not for it to be so hard, but we've gotten so far away, from what He intended. But you know, you got the power to make it happen. You got the power to help your body help you. When we do our part, the body knows what to do. You know, that's what's so amazing.
It is. I'm going to be walking around the rest of the day going, I got the power. That song in my head now.
I know. People say, well, you meant to say you have the power. No, I didn't mean to say you have the power. It does not have the same punches. You got the power.
Yeah. Okay. You don't need to be grammatically correct on this one, because you're right. It has a totally different meaning. So Hilary, I'm in the last few minutes that we have here, I'd like to go back and have you tell us a little bit about your 5-week program and how people can connect with you.
Well, they can connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn by direct messaging me, or they can email me at Hilary Gooden, sbcglobal.net, Hilary Gooden at sbcglobal.net, or LinkedIn, Facebook Messenger. And I can get them the link and just talk to them, because I'm only taking a few people into the program so that we can get the best time and results together with doing that 5-week set time. Because I know that, you know, we're going to go through some of the basics, some of the stuff that we talked today, but more in depth about breathing and its relationship to the lymphatic system, and how you can use your body to help your body, not just for 5 weeks, but for a lifetime. You know, so that's what it's all about. And it's, you know, we get a chance to talk about it then.
I love it. I think that's absolutely fabulous. I love the fact that it's a live conversation too, that you're having with people. Fabulous. Well, any last words, anything that you want to leave us with before we close out?
Well, I thank you for having me on here before your audience, and I appreciate it so much. And I just like to tell people, like I tell everybody, you know, you got the power to help your body, help you have that better health and more vibrant life.
Thank you. Thank you, Hilary. Thank you. This has been a fabulous conversation. You know, everything that you've said is new, is fresh, and I love the fact that it is simple things that people do, but it is about awareness and choice. And so thank you, Hilary, for being with me. I know this is going to be the first of many great conversations that we'll have in the future. Thank you to our audience. We're here every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. For another episode of the Wonder Series. You can find us on Spotify, Google, wherever basically you find your podcast. And also you can check us out on video here at YouTube under Living Healthy List, which Living Healthy List sponsors our podcast here. So until next week, everyone, I leave you with this: healthy living for a happy life. Have a great day.